Hey, I'm your host, Dr. Desiree Cassell. I'm an orthopedic and pelvic floor physical therapist specializing in women's health, aka pelvic floor. I'm a wife, mom of 3, foodie, lover of all things movement and nature, and I'm super passionate about educating, empowering, and supporting other women like you to find and maintain balance throughout all aspects of their lives, without pain, pressure, or peeing their pants. And this is the Balanced Momtality Podcast, where we will talk about all things pelvic floor, your core, and optimizing your pregnancy, birth, and postpartum recovery, providing you with the knowledge and tools so that you can feel like the strong, playful, and happy mom that you and your family deserve. Now let's get you out of those pads and back to loving movement. Fill up your water, pop in those AirPods, roll out your mat, and let's connect. Before we start today's episode, just a quick disclaimer that anything mentioned in this podcast is not meant to treat or diagnose any medical conditions. If you have any questions or concerns about your healthcare needs, please seek the care of your medical provider. This is also a safe space where we will be talking about very sensitive but important topics, such as issues with peeing and pooping, relationships, and even sex. So if you have littles around, probably a good idea to pop those AirPods in. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Hey girl, I hope you had a wonderful weekend or a wonderful day, depending on when you are listening to this episode. It is spring break for my kids, so we are off our rhythms. It is also allergy season. I feel like I'm getting close to a sinus infection. Hopefully we can fight that bad boy off so I can have some fun with my babies over spring break. But for that reason, I'm keeping things light and fun this week. I did want to mention, because this is the last episode airing in March. And remember, I have a March Madness sale going on through the end of March. So that means that this is ending by Wednesday, when we have April 1st already rearing its head. And so don't forget to check in to Restore and see what it's all about, and join before Wednesday, where you can save $500. So right now at the link below, click it, go look. I know you've been interested, see what's involved, what it includes. And just so you know, friends, this isn't all it includes, because I'm still building it out. Yes, I've gone back and forth with which is it done, is it not done, and I'm still adding things. And so if you want to jump in on a low price to be able to get access to all it has now and all it will entail, now is the time. Remember, you get access to me privately for coaching when you join Restore through via private chat. There is a support group in there that is all private that helps build accountability and support. We have so many fun bonus modules that help bring everything together. And again, I am still adding. So if you are interested, definitely go check it out. Send me an email, send me a DM. Let's chat and see if it's right for you, because I don't want you to miss out on this sale. It will not be down $500 again, at least, for now. I cannot see it going back down. So this is the time, friends. But if you've been listening to these episodes and thinking, like, I know I need to do something, but I just haven't started it yet, this is for you. And because this is something that we all deal with, right? It's like, whether it's working out or doing some breath work or going for walks or eating better or drinking more water, like whatever it is that you've been thinking, I know I need to do that thing, but I haven't yet. I just want to jump in your head and give you some wake-up calls, and also help to motivate you and inspire you to just do the damn thing already, because it is never a better time than now. Not only with my Restore program, right? With Restore, it's for sure no better time than now to start. But even with everything else, because why delay? Why put it off, right? We overthink things. We try to think that we're waiting for that perfect time or the right time, when I have the money, when I have the space, when I have the time to do it, when I have the mental capacity to do it, right? But that just gets in our heads and makes us think we're not ready, but maybe it's because your expectations aren't correct. Maybe it's because your goals aren't correct. And yeah, maybe you have other things that you need to focus on before you go tackle that big lofty goal of weight training again. Maybe we need to start smaller with a little breath work, with a little yoga, with a little mobility, with a little movement that feels good and sustainable before we go trying to tackle the gym for a half an hour or an hour and lift heavy weights. Like there's definitely a process that gets us to these spaces. And if we skip that process and just jump in trying to put it all out on the table all at once, it becomes so overwhelming. But even just the thought of doing something new is so overwhelming. And especially if we don't have the money or the time, we can start to feel like, you know what, I'll just DIY it. I'm just going to, ChatGPT, YouTube, Dr. Google, ask my friend, try this YouTube video, try this free pamphlet I got out, and I'm just going to make it work and I can do this. But unfortunately, while DIYing, and I am definitely a culprit of this, can be great, right? It is very educational, that's for sure, because it really helps us see where we suck and where we do need some help. But unfortunately, for those people that are feeling strapped or feeling like they can DIY it, they struggle through those phases instead of getting support and feeling successful right away. And that can sabotage their progress and sabotage their vision. They might all of a sudden be like, do I even want this anymore? And that's sad because it wasn't that the dream was wrong. It was that the execution was wrong. And I get it, right? I've been there. I've done this so many times, especially like waiting till I felt ready. But the reality is if you wait to feel ready or wait for the perfect time, it's just not going to happen. And if it does, it's going to be so late down the game that you might have so many other issues that are now yelling at you that now that isn't even a goal anymore because you have bigger fish to fry. And especially if we're, postpartum, we've got kids around, like we're like, no, I know there'll be a time for me, right? There's going to be a time for me, isn't there? No, friends. No, there is not. Not unless you make it happen. Not unless you carve that time out. There will not be time for you because even as your kids get older, they're still demanding of your time. And who wants to wait till their kids are teenagers and out of the house before they finally start feeling good in their body? You want to feel good for your kids now. You want to have the energy to play with them now. You want to have the motivation to work out and get strong now. And when we put it off, it only causes more issues to show up. So again, just diving into like the inner workings of our minds, because there are a lot of reasons why women wait. Maybe we feel like we don't have the time, right? But the reality is we are either paying in time or money, right? So we might say, I don't have the money to invest in this program right now. I don't have the time to invest in this program right now. But the reality is you're always paying in both time or money. And sometimes you're paying in both of those things. And by putting stuff off, you're only adding to the dysfunction and time it's going to take to heal that thing or get back that strength, right? If we're like, I don't really have any symptoms. I don't have leaking. I don't have pain. Like, I'm fine. I'm just going to work out when I have the time right now, which isn't a lot. So I'll get some walks in when I can, but I'm okay right now. Unfortunately, that leads to weakness because we're no longer strength training and working out and keeping our muscles strong. And that weakness leads to dysfunction, which leads to tension, which leads to imbalances, which leads to symptoms. And now we have symptoms yelling at us. Now that's our goal, is to stop peeing our pants and stop having pain with sex. When before our goal was just to lift weights again. Our goal was just to feel strong, just start moving and feel good. But now we've got things that are actually making us feel like shit, and that becomes our priority. When really, had we invested the time and even a little money to make sure that what we were doing was correct and not going to cause problems, we would have never had the symptoms show up. We would have felt confident getting back into exercise and back into working out. And again, felt like we crushed it, right? Like I didn't have any issues. Cool. And are you working out? Yeah, I am. I'm going to the gym, or I'm running, or I'm swimming. I'm doing some breath work. Like, I'm doing the things. Not as much as I used to before babies, but I am. And that is what is going to help you feel good, is just doing it. So if you're not doing the thing, just start. We just need to back it up a little bit and see where it's feasible and doable and doesn't feel like a total revamp of your whole life, because that's when it's super overwhelming. Because if we wait for things to slow down, it doesn't slow down. This is a lie we keep telling ourselves, especially this time of year, right? We're getting towards like April and May. Chaos, all of the end of school stuff. It's like, no, in the summer, it's fine. Like, I'm just going to wait till things calm down. And after May, I'll get on top of this. But the reality is, friends, summer is even more chaotic. There's less structure. Our kids are home. It's nice outside. We want to go play too. And if we don't have structure and habits and discipline already in our rhythm, then over the summer, we're going to crumble even more. And so we need to start now and not wait for this perfect time or wait for it to fix itself. Because this is another thing. People are like, well, if I just give it some time to heal, I'm just going to rest. I'm not going to do anything for a little bit, and then it'll feel better. And sometimes this can happen, right? Like sometimes we wait and the symptoms go away, but that doesn't mean the solution was solved. It means that you stopped tapping your system out so much that that symptom showed up, but it doesn't mean you healed the reason it showed up, because I guarantee if you start to stress your body again, that symptom will come back. And that means you're just avoiding that extra level of stress and inflammation that's going to piss your system off, which is good, obviously. We don't want to piss our system off. We want to understand what irritates our system and how much is too much. But we can also get into a lot of trouble if we're just not doing anything. We really need to find that root cause so that we know, hey, I found this root cause. It was a glute imbalance. I had some tension in my core, and now things are better. So as I'm adding stress and intensity to the system, I feel confident the leaking's not going to come back. The knee pain's not going to come back. The plantar fasciitis isn't going to come back, right? The back pain's not going to come back because you found the root cause. And then we're also avoiding all those compensations. Maybe you feel like you've just tried everything. Like, I've worked out, like I've done all these different diets, I've done all these different workouts, I've gone to different providers, and I'm still having issues. Unfortunately, that just means you haven't found the right team of support and the right guidance and the right providers, because you should be seeing some progress. And if you're not, go listen to my episode I did last week, because chances are you have some progress being made that you're just missing, and you are so focused on one thing that you're missing all the other beautiful progress that's happening in your body. But many times this is also the reality that maybe we've even gotten worse since focusing on things. Or we do just feel like, nope, pain's still just as bad. It comes up just as quickly. It stays just as long. Like, I still can't do the same things, and really feeling stuck. And if that's the case, you need to find new providers. You need to find new guidance. You need to find new support, new structure, because that is your responsibility to fight for yourself and advocate for yourself, and finding someone that listens and hears your whole story and knows when they're not the only thing you need, so that they can bring in that holistic approach. But waiting often means that you are going to stay stuck longer. Your healing is going to take longer, and therefore you're going to have dysfunction and frustration longer. So let's not wait, because there is a cost to waiting, right? And this is not to be like intense and aggressive in your face and being like, do it now, or you will die. There's a cost, right? Like, no, but there is a cost. And I just want to be honest with you guys. Like, if we put this off, your symptoms are going to persist. And that's the whole reason you want to get into whatever it is now anyways, right? Maybe it's restore. Maybe you want to jump into restore right now. Maybe you want to jump into the gym. Maybe you want to jump into just walking because you haven't been doing anything, right? Whatever it is, we need to start that process now, because the longer you wait, we also lose our confidence. And as our confidence goes down, we have even more likelihood that we're not going to start that thing, and more likelihood that the pain and symptoms are going to get worse. our avoidance to the area, to the symptoms, to that space also increases, which means that you are actually smudging, this is a technical term, the mapping and connection in your brain and in your body. When we have pain for too long, when we have dysfunction for too long, not only does our body build compensations and patterns and create more pain, but it also starts to actually ignore and block out those parts of the body and makes it harder for you to reconnect when you do finally sit down and try to. I can't tell you how many women I have coming in their 60s, 70s saying, I wish I listened sooner. I wish I took the time for me and invested in me before my bladder was coming out of my body, before I had to plan everything around where a bathroom trip is, before I couldn't even get out of bed by myself and now I need a walker or a cane to move around. This is the time. We don't want to be the ones in our 60s, 70s, 80s regretting the lack of attention and effort and importance that we put on our own lives, on our own health, on our own bodies. I know you want to be the healthy matriarch in your family, and it needs to start now. We can't be hounding all of these nutrition and movement and, health skills to our kids, but not modeling them ourselves. It's really just, it goes against the grain. Our kids look up to us. They do what we do, not what we say. I wish they did, but mine don't. Maybe if yours listen to you, please pass on the tips because I need them. My kids are terrible listeners these days, but they copy everything we do. And in a house with let's call it no filter, that's rough. Yeah, there's a lot of cussing going on in our house right now, and we're trying to rein it in, but they are catching on. So whether it's bad words or just getting some movement in and trying to get off the couch, they are watching your every move, and we need to be the ones to show how important it is to take care of our bodies. And the other reality is that your body does adapt to dysfunction. It can become a place where you maybe no longer have pain anymore even, but you've created so many layers of dysfunction that by the time you realize it's hard to walk or get up out of chairs or do things, the layers of dysfunction are so hard to get through, and it does usually create more pain because as we're unlayering things, our body's adjusting and going, whoa, wait, I forgot about that. I didn't know that still wasn't working well. We're going to give pain now. We have to work that down. That feels better. Now this other pain starts to hurt because we've shifted where the forces go. And that is a frustrating process. It is a very doable and very worth it process for sure. It's never too late to unlayer those compensations and get your body feeling balanced and strong and stable and supportive for you. But why not avoid that altogether? Because how frustrating is that to get one pain to go away only to find another one pop up somewhere else because you've shifted and unlayered another layer of dysfunction? You either spend time guessing or time actually progressing. I'm going to say that again. You either spend time guessing and in pain or time actually progressing, okay? And so we need to start shifting away from this mindset of all or nothing, but also starting to just observe that it's not just showing up for workouts. It's not just doing Kegels. It's not just pushing through and saying, yep, I said I'm going to do it, so I'm going to do it. Because that doesn't even necessarily create the change. And that can be part of why you've fallen off so many times. So shifting away from, random things and throwing spaghetti at the wall and doing all these random workouts and wondering why it's not helping and just pushing through and actually shifting towards a space of structure, a space that has progression laid out in a way that feels good in your body. So hey, if my body's not ready for this, I just backtrack to this one. Or hey, this actually feels easy, so I know the next level I can do. And hey, if this doesn't feel good, I have some tools to troubleshoot that. And I have someone I can ask even to say, hey, this didn't feel great. Is it because I did something wrong or am I just not ready for it? And then you get me in your ear actually telling you that guidance and support. And then that helps you show up consistently, and consistency consistency is really where we see progress. And remember, consistency doesn't just mean doing everything perfect every day. It means one day you did it half as well as you thought you would. The next day you did it 75% as well as you thought you would. The next day might only be 10% as well as you thought you would. But the point is you kept showing up each day, okay? And so again, obviously, I have Restore as a space that shows progression, has structure, gives you guidance, and helps you show up consistently. And if you are a busy mom, you are wanting to be active, or you are already active, or maybe you're just a woman who feels discouraged and disconnected and you're tired of guessing, then this is for you. My Restore program addresses all of these issues where time, right? If we can just actually say, I don't have enough time. The reality is you don't need very much time to make a difference. Even every time you reconnect with your breath and reset your breath and posture, that counts. But even inside Restore, I have a 5-minute breathwork routine. If you tell me you don't have time for 5 minutes, your priorities are wrong and you're not ready for Restore either. Because if you cannot find 5 minutes for yourself, you are just spreading yourself way too thin and putting everything above yourself. And until you can carve out 5 to 15 minutes for yourself every day, you will not feel good. Even if that time is initially spent sitting in silence or sitting outside or reading a book, it doesn't even have to be spent working out and exercising at first. You first just have to create the habit of building time for yourself. But time is an issue. I get it. I'm busy. I run a clinic. I have a podcast. I have an app, an online program. I have 3 kids. I have a husband. Like, I run a house. I am busy and I still make time for myself. Is it always perfect? No. And in fact, I'll tell you today, my kids are home for spring break. I came into work as late as possible because of that. I did not make it to the gym. I told myself I was going to work out at home though. Did I? No. So guess what? This is our reality. But what does it tell me? I got to work and now I am telling myself, okay, this morning I spent my time reading. Yes, I'm very obsessed with the ACOTAR series. If you've been following me on my personal Instagram page, you know that. And if you are a fan, definitely come over to my Instagram. I always love chatting about things, especially books. It's been super fun. But yeah, I've been reading a lot. And so what I told myself today was that since I read this morning, instead of doing my workout, when I get home, I'm going to do something active. I didn't say I'm going to do the same workout, right? Like I'm already shifting my expectations, but I still have that expectation for myself. I'm still telling myself I'm going to show up for some kind of movement, some kind of something that's going to help me move the needle forward. Even if that's sitting on a lacrosse ball and doing a little release work in the evening, maybe I get a walk in. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll even get a full 30-minute or 1-hour workout. Maybe I'll do a Restore workout. I don't know what it will be, but I'm committed to do something for myself today. And I'm also taking away the expectation that it might be the hour-long workout that I had originally planned, right? That's the reality of how we need to think. Things happen, we can push it off, but you can't keep pushing it off. If we keep pushing it off, right? If I said, oh, well, I won't get to the gym today, right? My kids are home, it's fine. That's not a big deal. I'm not going to feel bad about it. But tomorrow, same thing. If I'm like, well, it's spring break, and maybe all week I end up saying, it's fine. It's spring break. I'm going to take the week off. And then next week I'm like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I just took a week off. I'll get back into it later. I'm tired. I don't have the energy. And if we keep pushing it off, then we end up like a month or 2 out going, oh man, now I have to restart, feeling like I fully am restarting from square one. And it is going to feel that way. And maybe I now have more tightness and tension in my body than I did before, that now I have to work out just to get back to where I was, right? And that is frustrating. So time, short workouts are so feasible, so doable. And yes, the 5-minute ones in Restore feel amazing. You just hit start. I walk you through it. You don't have to think about any of it. Another objection that's really obviously valid is cost. And again, we need to think about it as an investment, right? Like we are investing in a body that's going to feel better and feel stronger and feel more confident, and not think about it as like throwing away money and continuing to struggle, or keeping your money and choosing to continue and struggle and throw spaghetti at the wall. Because I haven't had one person go through Restore and have zero change. Yeah, they might go through Restore and not hit the 100% healed that they felt like they were hoping, but everyone comes out of it with something. And as I've mentioned in previous episodes, everyone has a different timeline and a different body of the reality that they're healing. So some people are going to hit the goals they set through Restore. Some people are going to realize, oh, maybe that was a lofty goal, but I got this out of this program. Any progress is progress. And when we're choosing to invest, it has been a big eye-opener for me running a business and being someone that I'll say, relatively broke, right? Like me and my husband, we live in Los Alamos, which is one of the wealthiest counties per capita, so super wealthy community, and price of living is expensive. We're both in the healthcare industry. I obviously run my own practice, and I'm not going to lie, we're still living paycheck to paycheck with 3 kids in this community, and just in this world right now, everything is so expensive. And so running a business, it is so hard for me to want to invest and do other things and pay for help, but it has been the thing that has really helped move the needle. Anytime I end up investing in something, it gives me so much more back because it is just that. It's an investment. So the question is, are you ready to invest in yourself? There might be some fear, but just know that especially programs like mine with Restore, they are safe and they are guided. So there is no fear to be had. And in fact, if you have fear, even more of a reason to pick a structured program like Restore and not just throw spaghetti at the wall. So if you've been waiting, this is a really good time to start. Restore is $500 off. It ends on Wednesday. Please don't wait on that sale because it will not be $500 off again. And just know that you don't need more information. You need a starting point. You need structure and you need support. And if you're ready to have me help you, then join Restore. My link is in the show notes below. And it has been so fun chatting with you through March and the March Madness sale we've had going on. And I'm excited and also a little bit terrified. It's already April and Easter is this coming weekend. But with that being said, stay tuned later this week for another episode on the Pelvic Floor Core and More Show.
Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. I know you've got so many other important things going on, but I hope it was helpful and you leave here with some tools to help you in your healing journey. And I just want to ask you, if you have found this helpful, to please leave a review on iTunes. Scroll down to the bottom of my podcast page and leave that 5-star review so it can help other women see this information. And also, if you want to be a part of my community of amazing women trying to balance all the things, great tips and insight and sharing stories and just motivating each other along the way, feel free to join my Facebook group, The Balanced Momtality, Wellness and Support. I hope to see you here next time on the Balanced Momtality Podcast.